Welcome to Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Fennel, orange, and leek. This is a flavor combination that can be used in a variety of ways. You can make a vegetarian dish out of this, like a stew or soup, or yeah, I suppose that would be about the extent of it. It's also sometimes used with osso buco, which is a lamb dish. Today we are going to make chicken with fennel, orange, and leek. And we're going to use the fennel fronds for a gremolata, which is usually garlic, lemon, and chopped parsley, but we're going to use orange juice instead of, and we're going to add some of the fronds to the parsley. So fennel, this is something that actually grows wild in milder climates. It's a delightful ingredient. People don't use it a lot. It's a member of the dill family, as you can see, or the same family as dill. I don't know. Maybe dill's a member of the fennel family, who knows. But it has a slightly licoricey anise sort of flavor. But it's really nice to use, and we're going to use it for this dish. So to begin with, we're going to marinate the chicken. I've got a generous 2 tablespoons of chopped garlic here. And I have about 2 tablespoons of chopped thyme. I picked fresh thyme and scraped it off the leaves and chopped it up. You could, I'm sure, use dry thyme if you don't have access to fresh thyme.
You say you can use any thyme?
Yes, any thyme is fine. In this climate, thyme grows year-round, so its growth does slow down in the winter, but we always have plenty. And here's a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and a full teaspoon of salt. And a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And now I have taken any excess moisture off my bone-in chicken thighs, of which I have 4. They always seem to pack this stuff with a lot of water in it, and you don't really want that. So now we're just going to massage the marinade mixture into our chicken thighs and let them rest until it's time to cook them. Which in this case, it's going to be a couple of hours. This, if you're pressed for time, you can just let them rest for 15 minutes. But the more time you give it, obviously, the more flavor it's going to have. And one more. That'll get this nice and coated, and it can all just rest like that in the fridge, and we can work on the rest of the dish. All right, so while the chicken's marinating, let's assemble our gremolata. We have about 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, and that'll go in. We have 1 teaspoon of chopped mint, fresh mint leaf. Yeah, I'm not going to do it that way. And this is 2 tablespoons of garlic greens. If you don't have access to garlic greens, you can substitute about 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic, regular, chopped garlic. I tried to grow garlic quite a bit, and this year we had 2 garlic plants that decided to do something at the end of the year. So here in January, I actually have garlic greens. This is 2 tablespoons of fennel leaves, and it's this part of the fennel here, the leafy stuff. You can see I've taken it all off of here. So that's a good use for that. And a tablespoon of orange zest. 1 pinch of salt. And then I have 2 tablespoons of orange juice and a tablespoon or so of olive oil. And when we mix this together, we will have our Gremolata, which we're serving on chicken this time. This can be used on fish. You can put it on vegetables. It's a versatile little topping for things. It's got that green, fresh greenery flavor. It's really what you're going for here. That, you know, it's kind of driven by the parsley that's in there. So that will marinate till it's time for dinner, and we'll put some of that on top of our chicken. All right, let's talk about fennel. What we're really after here is the fennel bulb itself. And you can kind of see that often, it usually comes, it's kind of scuffed up on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all the stems and everything except the bulb. And then we're going to take those first, this looks like I can get it all if I just take this one layer off. And we'll just ditch that. We're not going to use it.
Maybe we'll put that in our veg.
And then for this,
for stock. Yeah,
we can do that. For this, we're just going to give us about 1/4 inch slices of fennel. And I mentioned that fennel grows wild in mild climates, but I failed to mention that you can buy this at your grocery store. It may be seasonal. This was actually purchased at the store. I did not grow this. It did not grow wild here. Somebody cultivated it. So that's what we're getting out of that. And then a leek. Looks like a big green onion, doesn't it? It's very similar. It has a mild onionish sort of flavor. You obviously don't want this end. Theoretically you can plant that and get more leeks out of it, but I don't bother with that. I have hundreds of leeks growing out in the garden right now because they're a good winter crop. Now the thing about leeks is with this this type of growth, a lot of dirt gets down inside a leek. You're really not going to use anything above that, and even there, sometimes you'll find dirt in here. I mean, it's important to wash your leeks first, and then just keep, if you're cutting up towards this end, keep checking for dirt. Make sure you're not getting a lot of dirt in there. And again, for this recipe, we're going to cut this into some slices, roughly 1/4 inch, without getting too picky about the size. And here, maybe I'll, just for a little variety, come up with a different shape. Okay, and there we have our fennel and our leeks. And we will be slicing up these oranges. And this, I already took the zest and the juice off the ends for the Gremolata. So I've got another orange too, and we'll be using that much orange with all this and with our 4 chicken thighs. All right, so let's get our dish in the pan here. I've got the fennel and the leeks on the bottom. I've put down some orange slices. I'm going to add my chicken, and you could do this with a bigger pan. I think Kelly's thinking that I need to.
I'm stressing about it a little.
But I didn't, if I was going to do that, I think you might need 2 fennel bulbs because it just really doesn't look like enough fennel for 2 pans. And this looks like it's fitting just perfectly. And this is going to go in a 450 degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And it's chicken, so you do want it to get to 165 degrees for safe consumption. And I've got some more orange here to just throw around the top of this. And we're gonna have a brightly colored, delicious dish. I have these longer leek pieces. And we'll put them on top, and they'll keep the chicken nice and moist. They may brown and dry out and not be very edible, but we can take them off if that happens. And I've got just a few more sprigs of fresh thyme to throw on top of this. And there you have it. We're going to bake this, like I say, till we get to 165 degrees inside. And it should be just delicious. So this actually spent an hour in the oven. And as predicted, the little leek pieces got a little charred, but they look good on here, and they probably helped keep the top of the chicken moist. So we'll funnel those off and serve up.
Looks really pretty.
It is pretty. It's nice to have that orange in there. Oops, that one didn't work out as well. Get back on there. Okay, and there you have it.
Don't forget your garnish, or whatever you call that thing.
We have our Gremolata. I don't know quite how to use this, so I'm going to try a little spill on here. That looks pretty good. Same over here. Okay.
Reminds me of chimichurri.
Mm-hmm. Very similar type of concept. And so here we have our chicken with fennel and leek and orange, and served with Gremolata. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.